All right, y'all, let's get right into it, man. It is currently 1:16 a.m. I am on the job, as y'all can see, on the job. Today was pretty darn crazy. Gotta be honest. Excuse me. Oh my goodness, excuse me. Sorry, I didn't mean to do all that on camera. I'm just gonna simply talk about price action today. I also want to show my live trades, because I documented me in the trades, and I want to talk about what I did right, what I did wrong, and how I can do it better. Because the whole point of this thing is to not just document the journey, but also use it as a tool for me to improve on my trading, my communication, and so many other things, right? So I'll hold this camera over here and we can just use the left hand. Yeah, and so I want to continuously get better at that. That thing is glitching out, so we're gonna do like this. Cool. Okay. So originally, I think when we talked about this, I'm gonna go down to the 1 hour. I predicted price would reject this area down here and then continue up, potentially pull back in here again, and then go up. I think what ended up happening is, which I had the initial prediction, right, where price pulled back into this area as well, and then bought up. I did not predict price coming back into this area and then selling off, which I'm not sure why it did that, but that's why we're here to find out. We just made a double top and then basically sold off, right? So I'll break this price action down and keep it simple. Because even though I had the initial move right, if I would have took my analysis further, I would have probably caught the sell as well. I'm drinking Celsius Live Fit. I'm about to get a workout in while I'm at work. I'm gonna hit like a couple hundred push-ups, a couple hundred abs, and then a couple hundred squats. And so when I get off, I'm just gonna go straight home. I may still, we'll see. All right, let's hop right into it. Excuse me. So, look at this, guys. This was my Asian high right here. This is my right here, right? So I'll do that line over. This is my London high, and I want to go ahead and mark these areas up. Use the paintbrush. Yeah, so that was my Asian high. This is my London high. This is the New York high. And then you can see basically that, take that off. You can see basically that we came in here, sold off. We sold off, right? Double bottom. Got to shift the structure here, dip back into this fair value gap area right here. And then we continued up. Notice the fair value gaps I'm calling. We had a pull back into here. You can see another fair value gap in here. And then we shot back up to that high in the New York Open, just so we could sell off. Again, I don't know what caused this sell off, right? I don't know what caused the sell off. I don't know what caused the sell off. All I know is that we had areas beneath here that were I actually was waiting on to be filled. The areas are actually below here. So we got this daily fair value gap. We have another fair value gap here. Other than that, I didn't really see much, so I didn't really understand. And then for me, I'm just gonna, all I can say is that, hey, this is just natural support and resistance areas that cause price to sell off, because every time we got into this area, we were selling off. You can see that. Every time we got up into this area, we were selling off. Right? Watch. I'll mark out the areas where we sold off. Let's go to my paintbrush again. You can see right here, sold off. You can see right here, sold off. And we kept pushing down, even in this little area, sold off. You can see we got back up here again in these areas, right? Twice, sold off. That is a strong area of resistance. And so all it's telling me is that either price is creating liquidity. So for instance, there's a lot of orders there, and there's a lot of sellers there, right? And price initially wants to go down, because this big move right here, which basically is us getting under this support and resist, this area of, this was support here, now going to be probably turned to resistance, potentially. We do have the potentiality to get back into this fair value gap here. And let me teach y'all a little bit about the philosophy around fair value gaps. The reason why fair value gaps is important is because price is typically always trying to generate liquidity and trying to fill orders. And so a lot of times it will engineer the liquidity if it has to, right? To get the orders it needs to go and make these larger moves. So for instance, like that's basically the whole basis behind fair value gaps. Price wants to take out sell side liquidity, buy side liquidity, and it wants to balance and rebalance price, because these fair value gaps are imbalances in the market. So these are imbalances in the market, the fair value gaps. I'll write that in. So FVGs are imbalances. Oh, sorry. Typing with one hand, guys. Imbalances in the market. So I guess what I need to invest in is a phone holder, so I don't have to, I could just post it up and then I could just talk and type and do what I need to do. I actually like that better, so we'll make that investment soon. And so price likes to fill those, and those areas become natural areas of natural areas for opportunities of interest, right? Areas where you might want to enter a trade, or areas where you might want to consider exiting a trade, because price is going to reverse, possibly going to reverse from there. Now, there's a few more confluences you want to use with it, because price is not going to always 100% of the time touch a fair value gap, get inside, fully mitigate a fair value gap, or touch the 50% point of a fair value gap and then just go in the other direction. That is not always the case, right? You want to, there's a few other confluences you probably want to have with it. Like one of them I use is, what is the overall trend? What is the higher time frame trend? And you will typically want to go with the trend. All right, let me see. Because I'm telling you, man, it got to be some fair value gaps. So look at that, bro. So that's a fair value gap right up in here. I really could just drag this over. It's a fair value gap down here. This one fully mitigated, but it came and dipped right back into this one. This fair value gap here. It came and dipped right back into this. I guess it wasn't fully mitigated. And then if we look at the overall structure right now, see, it just it really came and swept this liquidity area. And then we should have, after the sweep, we should have been looking for a shift of structure. That's basically how my 8-plus strategy goes. We're looking for a liquidity sweep, and then we're looking for the liquidity sweep. We're looking for a shift of structure on a lower time frame. And then with that shift of structure, does it create a fair value gap for opportunity of interest? You know, and if we look left, you will see it will probably have a range where price needs to come back and fill that area. All right, let me see. So if we go down to 15, I'm gonna see the 5. I want to see if we get a shift of structure. This is basically a shift of structure. Here, there's a fair value gap right inside there. Price candles in there. We had those stops here. So check this out. We really could have took the sell directly from this area, but if you needed to wait on some more confluence before you took the sell, then you could have waited on this, touch back inside, stops above here. I would target one of these or even below this level. And if you got fair value gaps down here, so that's a 1 to 8. Your 1 to 3 was available at these fair value gaps. Right here, it's just these fair value gaps here. If you look left, it's fair value gap right here. Let me get all this off here. It's fair value gap right in here. Still getting you a 3.5 to 1. And so, the sweep was on the 1 hour, and that's the thing. Part of my strategy, I didn't say that part. Typically you want to wait on the 1 hour. So the 1 hour swept the Asian high. And that's enough for it to be like, all right, overall, we got the sweep for price. And as you can see, price continued to move down. So if you look right here, price, let's see. Price came down, right? Price made this low. Right, made this low. It moved up high. It makes it a higher low. I'm sorry, a lower high. Moved up to make this lower high. Sorry, my eye is itchy. And then, And then it made this move, making a lower low, continuing the structure. But then it comes and makes this higher high, which is higher than the last high here, almost basically breaking the typical downtrend structure. So this is an area where price is generating liquidity because it knows stops are going to be above this level. And then you see how it comes up, takes out those stops, and then continues down, continuing this downtrending structure. Now that is sort of like price manipulation. That is price manipulation. This is a proof like that NQ that is generating, engineering. They like to say engineering liquidity. Like even on this situation here, you got this big dip in here, and then price continues upward. That's that engineering liquidity type situation. And to play those, it just takes a little patience and a true understanding of your bias or the price, the direction of price. Bro, delete this. Bro, they won't let me delete that. What is going on? Like, if I can't delete this? Alright, whatever. This thing tripping. But yeah, so if we try to find, I gotta go find my moves, the traits I tried to take, because originally I tried to take, bro, you know what I'm gonna do? Let's just clean up this whole chart. Boom. All right, now I can delete this. There we go. All right, cool. All right, so I'm gonna get some of this out of the way. All right, cool. Let me see. All right, so I'll show you where I took my trades, and I would even potentially want to show my live ones. So on the open, I took my entries here. Long position. I took my entries here. And then I was targeting, like, I might have been targeting these highs. Prices take it out so far. So as you can see, prices didn't make it up there, then totally reversed, and then sold off. But even according to this short position calculator like I had here, I had the right idea for price to come up in there and fill these gaps and then continue selling off. The 2 minute not even showing a real entry, at least coming back into here, not really showing a real entry, but right here it is giving us a nice entry right here for the sell. Not this long right here, but the sell is absolutely available right here. You could take it from here, shoot. You just would need to place your stops above this high, and then still got your 3 to 1. I don't like that stop loss. I'm gonna be honest with you, I would rather have something closer to this, and then a tighter stop, and to maximize my profit. So this is what was available today on NQ. This is how price moved. I want to do some more research into why price actually reversed. So let's hop into Forex Factory real quick. Let's go to Forex Factory. See if anything in the news came out that could have drove price down. This is Friday. It's a bank holiday for us. You can see that right here. Bank holiday. Right here. All right, let's go. Back one. All right, cool. Whoa, we had average hourly earnings coming out, non-farm employment change, unemployment rate, 4.2%, and previous 6.4%. So average unemployment rate is down. Oh, that's good for the currency. But we sold off. Unemployment claims. Our claims, the previous was higher. Forecast 2019, but this was better than expected. Non-farm. Ooh, look at that. Non-farm employment change down huge. What is that? Change in the number of employed people during the previous month, excluding the farming industry. Actual greater than forecast is good for currency. Release monthly, usually on the first day after the month ends. This is vital economic data released shortly after the month. Released shortly after the month ends. The combination of importance and earliness makes the hefty market makes for hefty market impacts. Job creation. What is it? Job creation is an important leading indicator of consumer spending, which accounts for a majority of overall economic activity. Okay, that's huge though, guys. This thing down big. Like the forecast 114, we was here last time. Non-farm employment change. I'm trying to understand it. So what does it mean? Like actual greater than forecast. It was less than forecast, but It's a vital usual effect. Change the number of employed people during the previous month. So less people are getting employed. The numbers are going down, basically what they're saying. Unemployment claims are kind of down. So less people are working, but spending seems to still be kind of up. Okay, I'm going to dive deeper in that. Do some extra learning and understanding on that, and then I'm going to get back with y'all with some new information. It's going to be nice because we're going to be able to use this in our trades now, because this is good. This is real good for us right here. Because as we can see, this comes out again. When does this come out again? Release monthly, usually on the first Friday after the month ends. First Friday after the month ends. Okay, cool. This is big impact news. And then how did this affect things? It's going to stay flat, right? It's 0.3%, but this had to be huge. And then the unemployment rate percentage is down. Okay, so that means more people are. It's basically, this is saying percentage of total workforce that is unemployed and actively seeking employment during the previous month. Unemployed and actively seeking. It's actually down. Less people are looking for jobs. Is what they're saying? They're saying less people are looking for jobs. Okay. And then, manufacturing PMI, unemployment claims. But the big ones that seem to be the big driver is this non-farm employment change. Price sold off. Crazy. All right, y'all. That's all I got for y'all, man. This your boy Montego Ramon with Rise of Zex. Rise to the occasion. Hey, man. Y'all happy trading out there. Enjoy y'all weekend. Happy 4th of July. Enjoy y'all Independence Day. Spend time with family. Just continue to love and affirm who you are. And I'm going to keep doing what I can to document the journey. Comment, share below if you want more of this information. You want to see more from me, let me know down in the comments. And that's all I got for y'all. Peace.